This is QTV News. I am Ansumana Nyassi, and thanks for joining us. First, the main local, international and sports news headlines. In local news, in a press release from the State House, President Adama Barrow, as Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, has decided to relieve Lieutenant General Masanneh N Kinteh of his duties as the Chief of Defence Staff. The second Presidential Council meeting between the Gambia and Senegal is underway in Dakar as President Barrow arrives in Senegal. Over 60,000 people infected with the coronavirus in China have been cured, according to China's ambassador to the Gambia, Ma Jianchun. One Momodou M Baldeh is in police custody following a QTV story published on Tuesday about the police ban on motorcycle taxis. We find out why the Basse police commissioner ordered his arrest. The Public Utility Regulatory Authority PURA has officially launched a training course on water safety planning for service providers. In international news, children at a school in Ghana are raising money for their school by recycling to keep their environment clean. Those are our main headlines, and now the news in detail. A press release from the State House on Wednesday informs the public that President Adama Barrow, as Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, has decided to relieve Lieutenant General Masanneh N Kinteh of his duties as the Chief of Defence Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces. Although the notice from the State House was issued today, 11th March, General Kinteh's removal is effective from 5th March 2020. The Deputy Chief of Defence Staff, Major General Yankuba A. Drame, takes over with immediate effect. The President has thanked General Kinteh for his service to the nation. The second Presidential Council meeting between the Gambia and Senegal is underway in Dakar. The meeting is preceded by the experts meeting, which will work in subcommittees to discuss defense and security, transport and trade, fisheries, agriculture and energy, among others. As Alusise reports, President Barrow has also arrived in Dakar on Wednesday for the meeting.
The second Presidential Council meeting on Tuesday opened in the Senegalese capital, Dakar, as experts from diverse sectors of both governments gather for a two-day session to review the agreements signed at the first edition with a view to discuss the successes, challenges and the way forward. At the opening ceremony at the King Fahd Palace Hotel in Dakar, Suleiman Omar Njai, Permanent Secretary at the Gambia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, says the Gambia delegation is hoping for a fruitful meeting to be followed by actions.
Through the consultations accorded by the convening of the Presidential Council, we as experts, and by extension the government of our two countries, have been provided with the opportunity to raise the bar of the bilateral cooperation into that of a strategic partnership. And in so doing, we have been afforded the avenue to map out a cooperation roadmap and to establish an état des lieux as per the implementation of agreed programs on the various areas such as trade, transport, defense and security, judicial matters, etc.
Njai notes that some progress has been registered following the first meeting in Banjul in 2018, while advocating more efforts towards realizing the objectives of the two countries.
Our work during this senior officials meeting should aim at consolidating on the gains made in the implementation of the agreed programs, identify challenges, and prefer immediate solutions, and study proposals of enhanced cooperation with a view to putting before our principals concrete suggestions as to the way forward for their endorsement. I thus urge all of us to work diligently in an environment of brotherhood and friendship to achieve our stated objectives.
He concludes that the Gambia and Senegal are two nations of one people, and as such, the development aspirations are interlinked. The experts are expected to present a draft report to the ministerial session for review before final adoption during the Presidential Council session on Thursday. It is hoped that both governments will move from commitment to action in implementing the agreements and new cooperation to be signed. The recent border crisis has left many questioning the purpose of the agreements signed in 2018 if they are not respected by concerned parties. President Barrow on Wednesday afternoon left Banjul for Dakar, where he and his counterpart, President Macky Sall, will join the experts and ministers for the Presidential Council meeting on Thursday to conclude the draft reports and roadmaps for the various agreements before they are signed.
It was in 2018, March, It is overdue. It should have been every 6 months. But we have a lot of things to discuss between Gambia and Senegal. We all believe that these two countries are the same country. So we have to go and discuss a lot of things. We discuss a lot of things about the two countries and about Africa, the continent and ECOWAS. Thank you.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
China's ambassador to the Gambia, His Excellency Ma Jianchun, on Wednesday told reporters that over 60,000 people infected with the coronavirus have been cured in China. Babu Garci reports.
Ambassador Ma Jianchun told journalists that the deadly virus is being tackled as most of the people infected with COVID-19 have been treated and are back with their families. He added that only 17,563 infected persons are currently under treatment.
The challenges of COVID-19 for China have yet been fully overcome, and our war against it continues. But the positive development has been taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, to achieve this was far from easy. China took unprecedented prevention and control measures to curb the spread of the outbreak and to ensure the victim number is as low as possible.
The WHO country representative, Dr. Desta Turuni, said the press briefing cannot come at a better time when the number of affected persons in China is reducing drastically. He, however, explains how African countries are coming into contact with the virus.
The good information is that China, which was the epicenter of the transmission, is now reporting every day a decline in the number of cases, which is actually heralding the end of maybe the outbreak in China very soon. We are hoping for that day, but until the last case is out, we will never take relaxed step. China is also, focusing on all the measures that they are putting in place.
Usman Silla, National Assembly member and chair of the Select Committee on Health, said they have visited entry points to assess the situation. Although there are challenges, the country is prepared, he added.
Inspection and assessment visits to selected points of entries or borders, and also isolation and holding centers that the ministry designates for the purpose of attending to suspected and confirmed cases. This was done on the 3rd and 4th of March. We went round. We started with the seaport, Banjul seaport. As you know, vessels come to the country and then they go to countries where they might have been affected by this virus, and they might have come into contact with people who are infected. So we went there to see what is in place, because what we wanted to do is to determine the state of preparedness of the Gambia.
The Minister of Health, Ahmadou Lamin Samate, says all preventive measures are in place, especially at the Banjul International Airport.
The support of the Civil Aviation Authority with regards to the flow of traffic, human traffic at the airport, and we ensure that nobody is exempted from passing, from going through the protocols. That is application of a hand sanitizer, and also to get his or her temperature checked. This has been very useful.
Dr. Samate also said the Gambians in China and the students in Wuhan are all safe. Babu Garci, QTV News.
Following a QTV story published on Tuesday about the police ban on motorcycle taxis in Basse, one Momodou M. Baldeh is in police custody, helping them in their investigations. The arrested man, Momodou Baldeh, had alleged that the Basse police officers, including Commissioner Omar Dabo, received bribes for motorcycles to be released after confiscation. In a telephone conversation with QTV's Mohamed Lamin Choi, the Basse police commissioner has defended the decision to bring the young man in for questioning.
Just to clarify on the the issue that I have asked you about concerning the arrest of the young man, I will want you to tell me once again why he was arrested on the record.
According to your call, to find out, because you heard from somebody, as you said in Basse, I said we called him to ascertain the truth. that is to be investigated and tell us who is the guy who told him that he gave some police officers. If he was the one who had given also, then the investigators will know. That is why we called him, just to clarify that point. So he's over there, and what he told the investigators that somebody told him. So they called that person, and the person says he's coming by 3. So they are waiting for the person to come so that they can hear from. We just want to ask them, who is this police officer that they have given the money, and who said the money is supposedly for commissioner? That's what we want to know.
So what will happen to the boy in case it turns out that it wasn't true, or you're not able to find, the substance of his allegation? What will be the consequence of that?
We will release him to go, and we'll know that what he said is unfounded. That's it. So we'll have it in our record, yeah.
Is he going to spend the night in the police custody?
No, he's not going to spend the night in police custody. This is a follow-up investigation as to the interview you conducted with him. That's all. We want to be very much clear that, because that's what they say, trying to tarnish people's image. So we want to get everything documented. That is why we called him for the CID to kind of conduct an investigation on what he said to the media.
Is he the only one arrested among those who spoke to QTV?
He's the only guy that we have called in for the investigation, yeah.
This morning?
Yeah. He's the only one. He was the one who said it, so we called him. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you.
The Public Utility Regulatory Authority on Tuesday held the official launch of a training course on water safety planning for service providers. PURA organized the meeting to bring service providers up to speed with internationally recommended standards on basic water treatment and water safety planning, with participants drawn from various water production companies and other stakeholders such as NAWEC and the Food Safety and Quality Authority. Officials hope the training will help reduce the risk of water contamination. Delivering his statement, PURA's Director General Momodou M says the Gambia has gained significant improvement over the years in terms of access to clean drinking water. However, he warns that there are still challenges in terms of water quality.
The training is expected to build capacity of participants on how to protect water systems from contamination. Our overall objective is to see that the consumers are supplied with water that meet the WHO drinking water quality standards as a minimum.
The Managing Director of NAWEC, Alpha Robinson, highlighted the importance of such training for service providers and called on participants to put forward tangible recommendations that will help reduce the risk of water contamination. He also highlighted some of the challenges confronting service providers.
The reality of the Gambia is that there is only one single water lab, which is the lab at Abuko, run by the Water Resources. A good water utility must have its own labs. It's not good to take samples quarterly. There must be daily monitoring of the quality of water that we supply. And this is what we intend to do at NAWEC.
In his official launch statement, the chairman, PURA Board of Directors, Ali Ngom, says he hopes the training will enhance partnerships between service providers and cautioned against employing practices that could compromise quality.
We must continue to put in efforts towards achieving water quality standards that will protect consumers from acquiring diseases associated with drinking water. PURA, as the regulator for utility water services, has not relented on these efforts.
PURA is the Gambia's independent multi-sector regulator which regulates sectors such as the broadcasting, electricity, telecommunications, petroleum, water and sewage. And from that report, we take a short commercial break. But when we return, we hear about a donation of medical items worth $1 million to a health center in the West Coast region. Join us after the break for these stories, as well as international and sports news.
One nation, 8 tribes. We are the smiling coast of Africa. Gap-toothed, wide smile, rich melanin skin, radiant with the colors of a rich tapestry of cultures, telling one story of unity and beauty. Wrapped in the soft folds of a mother's sir, a Khalifa's grandbuba, we embody the past of our ancestors and the promise of our descendants. Follow the records of our history, this story that tells of a people watered by the river in the gleaming sun of a coastal nation. Listen to the folk tales, those old tales we grew up on. Lebon, Lupain, Amon Nafi, Danam. Hear the music of an entire nation in the language of its heart and mother tongue. Our tongues are heavy with the song of our people. Rich and thick it rolls off like domoda, soft like yasa, bena chinla, nyokomom. Feel the beat of our pounding feet as we dance to the sounds of a throbbing drum, ageless in its rhythm. The griot's kora that speaks the wisdom of the ages. The sweet sound of a mother's lullaby bringing even sweeter sleep. We clap a melody with young and old hands, a symphony full of the pleasures of life, the joys of work and home. We are Gambian. Bi suñu cosaan la, suñu dëkk, suñu bos.
Welcome back. Medical items worth $1 million were presented on Monday to Dar es Salaam Health Center in Combo North by a German philanthropist. Babukar C reports.
The health center comprises 4 wards, which includes a dental unit, eye operation unit, a lab and an antenatal unit. According to reports, 19 villages depend on the health center, including some in Casamas, as Dar es Salaam stands at the border with Senegal. At the presentation, David Ansumana Mane, the project coordinator who also works at the health facility, says there are currently 22 staff at the health center. He said the donated medicines will help patients and make the work easier for staff.
It's really something that we have all the time been anticipating, and it is something that has always been taking place. They are used to doing it. It is all the time that they do it. Almost every year, they would always send these drugs that is worth $1 million in the Gambian dollars. This is have open arms. It has a very, very vital role in Dar es Salaam history. Completely, it is serving this both Gambia and the Senegal, that is the Casamas, and the Senegal as a whole. And the people are coming to this health center as far as Bakau, as far as Pirang, as far as Katong, and Kafuntin, even Ziguinchor, they come here.
The Alcalo of Dar es Salaam village, Musa Tabale Bojang, thanked the German philanthropist, describing them as true ambassadors of the village.
This
is a blessing not only to the people of Dar es Salaam, but to neighboring villages and up to Casamas region. The medicines donated are of different types and a great use to the society. Now, with the help of God, many types of sicknesses will be cured in this health center.
Mr. Wolfgang is among the German donors.
It's a former friend of mine who found this little clinic. It was a very small one, only one house, and it was an organization from Essen. I live in Essen. So this guy take part of this, and he was a very good friend to Solo Zambu. So and then they have opened the health center, and I was a guest, only a guest. But from that moment, yeah, I feel very fine. I like the people. I was very strong friend with Solo, and so I also take part, but not only of this. I was then the chairman of the kindergarten in Marakiza, and that is 14, 15 years ago. And the story goes on and on and on. And what you see here, that is all done from Paul and Margaret Isford, with my assistants, but they are the most important players, and they make this fantastic.
The philanthropists were awarded honorary citizenship of Dar es Salaam village by the Alcalo and the Village Development Committee for their immense contribution to the village over the past 2 decades. Babukar C, QTV News.
BSIC Bank Gambia Limited on Tuesday donated items to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. The donation to the hospital's maternity ward is part of the celebrations marking International Women's Day. Ahmad Oba was in Banjul and he now reports.
For more than a century, in recognition of women around the world fighting for their rights, March 8 became established as an International Women's Day. The first observance was in Russia in 1917, and the UN adopted the day in 1977 This year's theme is I Am Generation Equality, Realizing Women's Rights. In commemorating the event, Basic Bank Limited donated sanitary pads worth over $50,000 to the main referral hospital's maternity unit. On behalf of the Board of Directors and Management of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Keba Sane, the Public Relations Officer, expressed gratitude to the donors and described the donation as commendable.
Healthcare worldwide, not any one country that I know where government can take care 100% of the welfare of the citizens of their countries. It takes organizations, institutions, philanthropists and individuals to come to the aid of these institutions so that they can function and function normally, delivering the services that they are called for.
Abissatumane Samba, head of marketing at Basic Bank, says their aim is to assist communities implement their development programs, fight poverty, and support healthcare, education, and child welfare. She adds that women play a significant role in the aspirations of every nation.
Basic is here today celebrating Women's Day. Women are the backbone of society. So for the past, let's say, week, we have a lot of series of events that we've been doing in celebration of Women's Day. We thought it's best to come to this main hospital, which is Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, in order to support them, because obviously they're also a government public institution, just like we are, to do a bit of a quota in our corporate social responsibility.
The Generation Equality campaign brings together people of every gender, age, ethnicity, race, religion, and country to drive actions that will create the gender-equal world envisaged. Fatoumata Jaite, departmental matron of the maternity unit at Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, says the donation is timely and will go a long way in complementing their service delivery efforts.
It's a timely donation because this sanitary pad is used by all the women in my department at the maternity. It's not only for those that delivered. Even we have our gynec ward. Some of them are there, they are bleeding. They just bleed, they are not pregnant, but they have these bleeding disorders. They use the sanitary pad a lot. And some, they don't even have money to afford it. You might think it's a small gift, but it's a big one, I can tell you. And it's timely, because every woman in that department, almost every two, three women, they need this pad. Out of every 10, let's say 8 of them might need this sanitary pad.
While the International Women's Day has been hallmarked as a time to honor women's achievements in the political, economic, and cultural sphere, it also serves as a reminder that women around the globe still have a long way to go when it comes to obtaining the same opportunities and liberties as their male counterparts. The donation by Basic Bank also serves as a reminder to other institutions that fulfilling social corporate responsibility is one way to give back to the community who patronize them in one way or the other. For QTV News, I am Amadou Oba.
And over now to international news. Children at a school in Ghana are learning about the benefits of keeping their environment clean. They realize that recycling plastic and paper waste can benefit their health and raise money for their school. They are taught about rubbish collection and separation, that by sorting plastics and paper into bins, these can then be sold to recycling companies. One such is called Environment 360. The company works with businesses and schools, passing on the message that waste can be a valuable resource. At their weekly class on environmental studies, the children are taught the mantra, harvest the waste. Funds from the sale of the waste are used to buy equipment and resources for the school. The recycling company, which has a base outside Tema New Town, collects up to 5 tons a month and pays by the kilo, cash in hand. The initiative supports 43 schools and employs 13 people with hopes of expanding to other areas. And now on to some sports news. Here is my colleague Aliou Cisse. Over to you, Aliou.
Thank you very much, Ansumana. Well, we're starting with CAF because today, in a statement issued, the Confederation of African Football has said it is going ahead with all scheduled competitions, of course, this includes the upcoming qualifiers for the 2021 African Cup of Nations. In a statement, CAF said it is closely monitoring developments as far as the coronavirus is concerned. And then with regards to the CHAN Championship to be held in Cameroon, it said this month it will send its medical team to assess the level of preparation as far as preventive measures for this CHAN Championship is concerned. Actually, this follows Rwanda, who had earlier this month announced that it has cancelled all international competitions, meaning Rwanda wouldn't travel to Cape Verde for its AFCON qualifiers, and of course wouldn't be participating in the CHAN Championship. So a quite interesting story there as far as the upcoming qualifiers are concerned. We remember just yesterday the head coach of the Scorpions, Thompson Fate, was suggesting for the qualifiers to be pushed until further notice for the fact that he can access most of his players who are playing in Italy. So, Ansumana, that's all for the sports news. Back to you.
Hello, just a quick one before you leave. What does this mean for Gambia? I mean, in light of pleas from the senior national team coach, Tom Saintfield, asking the Confederation of African Football to delay, the Gambia's upcoming encounter with Gabon.
Well, Gambia, like Rwanda and other countries, certainly have a good case, to put before CAF as far as the coronavirus is concerned. Because in the case of the Gambia, if Gambia is to play against Gabon later this month without some of these key players who are playing Italy, it will not be in favor of the Gambia. And so Thompson Fed is really right when he says, CAF should, push forward the qualifiers, even though CAF is also trying to consider the timing as far as the upcoming AFCON is concerned. Remember, the AFCON is in January, so obviously any attempt to move it further than this, might affect the tournament in January next year.
Well, an unlikely turn there for Gambia, but then let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm afraid that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap of our main headlines. In a press release from the State House, President Adama Barrow, as Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, has decided to relieve Lieutenant General Masanneh N Kinteh of his duties as the Chief of Staff. The second Presidential Council meeting between the Gambia and Senegal is underway in Dakar as President Barrow arrives in Senegal. Over 60,000 people infected with the coronavirus in China have been cured, according to China's ambassador to the Gambia, Ma Jianchun. One Momodou M Baldeh is in police custody following a QTV story published on Tuesday about the police ban on motorcycle taxis. We found out why the Basse police commissioner ordered for his arrest. The Public Utility Regulatory Authority, PURA, has officially launched a training course on water safety planning for service providers. In international news, children at a school in Ghana are raising money for their school by recycling to keep their environment clean. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Until then, on behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching.